Hey, welcome back to another video from Aegisbrand Studios. We are delving back into the Blackstone Fortress today. So if you guys have been following along, our explorers just got back to Precipice. They've done their shopping. They've re-equipped everything. Esper Lucano showed some love to Janice Drake, and he bought him a drakeskin cloak. They exchanged some stuff. Everything is good. Everything is ready to go back into the next stage of the Blackstone Fortress. And of course, if you paid attention to the legacy step, you will know that everything is actually on alert 1 now, which means that the spindle drones that we encounter are going to be a little bit tougher. They're going to hit a little bit harder. So we're going to see just how effective our explorers are going into the next challenges that await for them. So we've gotten everything ready to go. We're about to set up, and we're going to see just how far they can make it through to the hidden vault in the Blackstone Fortress in Warhammer Quest, Blackstone Fortress. So to start us off, of course, we needed to figure out what our first set of challenges are. So we already have our challenges and our combats put in here. We got our first card, which looks like we're looking at a shadow ambush. So this is one that we actually did in the last adventure. So it looks like we are going to deal with it again quickly. So we're going to get it set up and figure out how that goes down. So as a refresher, basically what's going to happen is we're going to be moving down the track of heroes here, making an attack action, then the Urgles are going to do the same. Basically, we're just looking to see who kills who first. So as a hero makes an attack action, if the Urgle is slayed, it goes away. If not, we just put a wound on it, we move on to the next hero. Once that's all done, the Urgles will then get to attack back. And in the event that a hero slays this Urgle, the next attacks will be going up against the next Urgles to try and help take them out. So we do have a nice set of options available to us here. People have been upgraded. So we're going to start with Janice Drake, who is inspired because we did buy his nice little secret agenda there. So he's going to do an attack against this first Urgle here using the D12 for a grievous wound, which is going to take him out, which then is going to bring us to 025 using his Power Claw. Now, sadly, he is no longer inspired because we went back, so there's nothing there. Which then will bring us to Esper Lucano with his, what is he using? His Force Cane, but again, nothing. And then Rain and Rouse, who just have the nice little purple die here, which is just going to be a single wound. So basically, not much has really happened there. So we're going to find out what the Urgles are going to do in response. So no one is attacking Janice Drake, but against nothing. Against Esper Lucano, nothing. And against Rain and Rouse, we have 1 wound going on against Rain and Rouse. So they're going to be starting off the first combat encounter with a little bit of a disability here. But Janice Drake hoping to take out some more guys. And that is going to be a grievous wound. So is doing okay. Then, using his 2 D8s, there's another Grievous, and then hopefully Esper and Lucano can take out this last one here. That's 1 more wound. Unfortunately, they do have 3, so we gotta hope that Rain and Rouse can do at least 1. No! Okay, so the Urgle is going to attack back. So nothing from them. So starting with Janice Drake, and he is finally taken out. So that is the first challenge encounter. Moving on to the next exploration. Oh, before we finish that one, we do have back in the Maglev here. Rain and Rouse are going to get to roll a vitality die to try and recover, which they are. So thankfully, no regular wound going on there. And then we find out what our next encounter is going to be. And we got ourselves a combat encounter with 4 discovery points. And it is an ambush, so this means that the enemies are going to be going first. So we're going to get that set up and see what happens. So we have our board set up there. So we see the 4 discovery points. Our heroes are set up right in the middle there. And we're going to find out what our encounters are. So group number 1, we're going to be looking at 4 Negavolt cultists. Group number 2 is going to be a pair of spindle drones. Group number 3 is going to be 3 Urgles. And group number 4 is going to be a single spindle drone. So no guardsmen, which I really like, although I'm not a big fan of the Negavolt cultists. So we're going to get all that set up and get going. So with the ambush, we do have to do this a little bit separately. So we're going to find out what groups are going first. So we have group 2 going first, which is going to be some spindle drones. Followed by group 4, which will be the other spindle drone. Then group 1, which is the Negavolt cultists. And then finally, we got the Urgles that will be going after that. And then in the heroes, we'll be seeing is going first, if he's still kicking. Esper Lucano, Janice Drake, followed by Rain and Rouse. So that is our initiative order for the turn. I'm a little worried about over here. Hopefully his rerolls will do the trick for his saves, because the negative cultists can be quite mean here. Especially considering, oh wait, no defense roll can be made. So yeah, is maybe in a little bit of trouble here. So we are going to find out what sort of advantages we might have, and hopefully I don't lose somebody too early on. Our destiny dice for the turn. So that's that was cocked there. That's still cocked. I would have liked that 5. Okay, so we do have Esper Lucano, so I'm only getting 3 of these. Oh no, I'm getting 3 dice total here. So not a lot to really work with, unfortunately. As for my actions, Esper Lucano is looking at some okay actions, nothing amazing there, but it might be enough to get him through the turn. Janice Drake that's cocked. Not the best actions either, not going to be seeing a lot of flurry of blows. 025 could have been a little bit better there. Hopefully he gets around to actually do his thing, because he's going to be taking a bit of a beating from those those Negavolt cultists. And Rain and Rouse, that's cocked. Oh, that's still cocked. Oh no. Okay, so I don't have the strongest rolls here, which seems rather thematically appropriate given everything that's going on. So we're going to get the camera set up and go into turn 1. The spindle drones down here are going to be acting on an 8, so they are not in cover, but they are close. So on an 8, it is going to be an aim action, which is actually kind of good for me. So basically, it's going to be the D8, ignoring cover, but there's no cover there to worry about. So, and this is a threat level 1 because of the legacy. So against Janice Drake here. So that's, oh my goodness. So we're starting right off with a grievous wound there. And we're going to see if we can bring that down a little bit. Okay, so he's at least going to ignore that grievous wound. And then the other drone is not doing anything, thankfully. Which brings us to group number 4, which is the other spindle drone, who is doing a 9. So I believe that's the same thing. I think it's, yeah, it's an 8 to 9. So in this case, it is cover, though. So we're going to be seeing the onslaught action. So it is 4 hexes away from Rain and Rouse. So it's just going to be a basically a double attack here. So the first one is nothing. The second one is also nothing. So far we're doing okay, but we are getting to the one that actually kind of scares me, which is the Negavolt cultists. So the first cultist is going to be rolling a 7, and we're going to go from this way over. So he is not engaged, not hidden, so this is going to be an other. So we have a 7, which is basically just a charge. So the charge is basically a move followed by an attack. Excuse me. And these electro-goat attacks ignore cover, and no defense rolls can be made against them. So this is a rough start for me. So against we are seeing, oh, thankfully nothing. So the next Negavolt cultist here is seeing a 20, which is going to be a rush. So what is a rush? I'm going to have to find out what exactly a rush is here. So a rush is basically just a move and then a charge action. So he's going to move in, he's going to charge, he's going to get his attack in, which, oh my goodness, I'm getting lucky here. But that does mean that these last 2 Negavolt cultists, which do not have a ranged attack, are thankfully not going to do anything against me. So got off extremely lucky here on this one. So hopefully I can take out some of those cultists. Anyway, the Urghouls, so we got 3 Urghouls. We're going to start over here. So the first Urghoul, they're all in cover, is going to be a rush. So he'll just charge up to there, and he's going to go after Janice Drake there. So this is just going to be a standard purple dice attack, but he does make 3 attack rolls. Oh, geez. Okay. So against Janice Drake, who doesn't matter, he's in cover because these are melee attacks. First attack, nothing happens. Second attack is a grievous wound. Janice Drake will defend with a... Oh, excellent. So not only does he defend, but he is going to be doing a swashbuckler, which is a critical success and an adjacent, so he can immediately take a pistol and rapier action without having to spend a die. So let's going to grab one of these D12s here and do the pistol and rapier action, which will be just a single wound, but they only have... oh, they do have 3. But that does hurt him a little bit. And then the final attack is nothing. Then we're going to move on to the next Urgul here, which is going to be a result of 3. And on a 3, they are in cover. Range 2 to 3. Oh, it's actually going to be a fallback. So he's just going to go and hide right back there. And the last Urgul will be a 2, which is also a fallback. So the dice were kind of in my favor for this ambush. I got really lucky on it. So hopefully I'm able to actually do something useful here. I really want to clear out some of those Negavolt cultists. So let's go into the Explorer's turn. Starting off with he's going to try and clear out some of these guys. So he's going to spend his 1. And we are going to do we're going to do the 2 purple dice, looking for some Grievous here. That is a Grievous, so that is going to be 1 out of the way. We're going to take the 1 from the Fate dice, or Destiny dice, or whatever they're called. And we're going to do the same thing, try and take out the other one. Nothing. So we're going to grab the 3 for There is another Grievous wound, so that is a second one out of the way there. And what we're going to try and do is we're going to take the 6 from the Destiny dice, and we're actually going to do a sustained fire against that group right there. So it is the assault cannon. It is they are in cover. You know what? Before I do that, I'm actually no, I can't move them anywhere where cover is going to not be a factor. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to do the sustained fire anyway. So no, you know what? He's going to walk forward. And then he's just going to do his claw attack and try and take out one more of these guys. Which, unfortunately, he doesn't quite do. He just puts another wound on one of them. We'll just put it on this back guy right there. And unfortunately, he has used all his dice at this point. So we're going to go on to Esper Lucano. And I think what Lucano is going to do is he's actually going to go and back up So he's going to spend that 1 in his dice roll. And he's just going to move right up there. And then he's just going to start wailing on them with his Force Cane. So using the 3, and that is a Grievous wound. I should have announced this, though, but I'll just play it fair and do it against him. And then he's going to use that other 3 of his and wail on that Negavolt cultist, which is also a Grievous. Okay, so what he's going to do then is he's going to take that 3 in the Destiny die. He's going to move once more, and he's going to take the 4 and do a search action. And he draws from the Discovery deck a little bit of Archaeotech, so a little bit of cash money to end his turn. So far, it's not been as bad as I was afraid of, but we still have a little bit to do. So we're going to see how the other heroes pan out. Janice Drake is up next, and he's got a couple ones there, so he's just going to... I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start by trying to take out that guy right there using a pistol and rapier attack. Which, it's just 1 damage, and I believe they have 3 health. Yeah, they have 3. So I'm going to spend that other 1, and we're going to do the same thing and try and take him out. Which is enough to get him. He's then going to spend the 2, and he's just going to walk up here, and then he's going to use the 6 to do a flurry of blows. So in this case, because it's the 6+, he is going to be doing 3 attacks using the D12 each time. So the first one is a single wound, followed by a Grievous, so that will take out a single drone. And then the last attack, unfortunately, is not anything. So that last drone does get to live another turn. And Rain and Rouse are going to try and take out... They're going to go up to this point up here, number 4. They're going to use their 2 and do a double team action. So they're just going to go 1, 2. And you know what? They're going to use the other 2. And they're going to do the exact same thing to get right up there. And I think at this point, we're going to use the 4 to do 1 more double team action. They're both going to use their stub pistols against that drone. So the first stub pistol is nothing, and the second stub pistol is going to be 1 damage against that drone. So there's only 2 left. And unfortunately, I only got a 1 left here. So we're just going to see a single stub pistol, not a double team action. But it is a Grievous, which does take him out. So I've had a very efficient turn with the heroes here. All that's left is a single drone and 2 Urguls that should be very easily dealt with as we go into the next turn. First things first, we got to do the event die, and we have a 4. So on a roll of a 4, we have a not dead yet. So the leader must pick 1 hostile that was slain during the combat that is not returned to the battlefield, and then deploy them as close to an explorer as possible. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to take a spindle drone, because I'd rather it at Spindle Drone, and sorry, Rain and Rouse, you guys get to deal with him over there again. But then we also do have some inspiration dice to do here. So Janice Drake, who did kill an Urgul and a Spindle Drone, so that's going to be a total of, I think, 5 wounds. So I was looking for a 5 or under. Nope. Then who is looking at the 2 Negative Occultists, is looking for a 4. Nothing. Esper Lucano, also a 4. Nothing. And Rain and Rouse looking for a 2, or 3 rather, which... No, sorry, it was a 2, not a 3. So no inspiration points as we go into the next round. We got our deck shuffled up, looking at the initiative. So first up, we have group number 3, followed by Rain and Rouse. So Urgul's and Rain and Rouse, followed by the, I believe 4 is the Spindle Drone by Rain and Rouse. Janice Drake. Group number 1, which is a Spindle Drone. 025, followed by the Negative Cultists. Oh, no, sorry, Spindle Drones. And then Esper Lucano. So group number 1 was actually the Negative Cultists over there. So we are in a pretty good spot here. I think what I might try to do... you know what? No, there's nothing I'm going to do here. So we're just going to go right into the action dice here. I'm happy with the initiative order. So for Rain and Rouse, we're looking at least we got a bunch of double teams there. Nothing too fancy. I was hoping to get a 6 so I could just grappling hook around. 025 is... Oh, those aren't... My rolls are not very good tonight. Followed by Janice Drake. Same deal, but you know what? At least he gets a flurry of blows in there, which is important. And then we have Esper Lucano, who is rocking the bigger dice here, which is excellent. And then before I forget, we do have our Fate dice, Destiny dice, whatever they're called. And so Esper Lucano will give us one of those 3s. The other one just goes into the nether there. And that will bring us to turn 1, to the first action of this round. The Urguls are first to move, and do they reinforce? On an 18, they do not. So we find out what their action is. So Urgul number 1 is going to be doing a 4. And in this case, they would be considered hidden. Yeah, they don't have any line of sight. So on a hidden, on a roll of 4, they are going to do a sneak action. Which, what is a sneak action here? So a sneak action is going to be make a move that ends as close as possible to an explorer without entering a hex that is visible to an explorer. So I think the only place he can really go is right there. Because Rain and Rouse have a clear line of sight all the way down here. The other one will be doing an action on 13, which is going to be, when hidden, a charge action. So the charge action, he gets to move and then get to attack. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, there is nothing there for him to attack. So I believe when there's nothing there, he gets to do a move towards again. Move towards the closest, towards the closest explorer a second time. So he's just going to pincer Janice Drake in there, and that'll bring us to Rain and Rouse. Rain and Rouse are going to do a couple double team actions, just some stub pistol here. So I'm just going to roll them together because, well, no, I'll roll them one at a time because otherwise one might be able to move. So we have a cocked die, so nothing. So we're going to do it again. That is a grievous wound, so that gets rid of one of them. So the other part of that action will just bring what? Who is that? Is that Rouse? Yeah, that's Rouse in there. Who's then going to use the 6 and the Destiny die there, and he's going to grab point number 4, which we are looking at some Archaeotech for him. And then let's see, we got a couple more actions here. So we're going to hope for the best and see if maybe we can get the Maglev to appear a little bit, I don't know, somewhere. You know, they're just going to hang out there. They have a couple Overwatch actions. Not that I think it'll really matter, but they're going to hang out there, I think. We do have to see if that Spindle Drone does reinforce, though. Which, on a 3, I do believe it is. Yeah, on a 3, that Spindle Drone does reinforce. So, unfortunately, he is back right there. So, they do have to deal with that. And he does make an immediate attack as he comes back on. So this is going to be at threat level 1. So he's going to be using the purple die against Rain and Rouse. And nothing's going to happen, though. That brings us to Janice Drake. And we're going to start off with a flurry of blows for him using that 6. So we'll start by targeting, I think we're going to go after the Spindle Drone first. So the first hit is nothing. Followed by Grievous Wound. So it does take him out. And then he does get to spin around and do an attack against I believe he can anyway. Same target or the previous one, or in the same hex or adjacent to the target. Okay, so unfortunately, no, he doesn't get to attack that guy behind him. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go after the discovery point here. So he's going to spend his 2 to move forward, and then what he's going to do is he's going to use that 4 to do a search action. But because he has the Auspex, he can exhaust the card instead of drawing a discovery card for this explorer, deal out the top 6 cards of the discovery deck, look at them, and give one to the explorer, and then the other 5 back into the deck. So let's grab the discovery deck right here, and we're going to see, let's see, Archaeotech of 2, a Clue, Archaeotech of 1, Archaeotech of 2, Archaeotech of 1, and a Clue. And I think because I want to start doing some runs to the strongholds, I'm going to actually grab a Clue in this case, as much as I'd like the Archaeotech. So we'll have to shuffle that back into the deck there. And he does have 1 action remaining, so I think what he's going to do is he's going to move back to there, and he's going to use one of he's going to just use a 1 from the Fate die, and he's just going to do a pistol and rapier attack against the Urgul for 1 damage, and I think he's going to use 1 more of those dice, the 2, and he's going to attack 1 more time, try and take him out. Which on the Urgul, who has 3 wounds, is not enough to take him out, unfortunately. But it is 2 wounds on him. He's going to be a little bit easier to kill in the next turn. With Janice done, we're going to move over to Group 1. We're going to see if those Negavolt cultists reinforce, which thankfully they do not, which means is up next. He doesn't really have a whole lot he can do here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take that 2 of his, and he's just going to walk over here and going to use that 1, and he's just going to try and punch that Urgul into oblivion here with a pair of D8s, which is enough to kill the Urgul and take him out. And he does have 1 die left, which is a 3+. He doesn't have line of sight on anyone. So I think what he's going to do is he's just going to hang out there. So that's going to bring us to group number 2, which were the spindle drones over here. And we have no reinforcements there, which is going to end us with Esper Lucano. And what he's going to do, he's actually just going to walk over here, and he is going to summon the Maglev, so we can get out of dodge. And he'll use his final one of his final dice just to get into the Maglev there. So he's good and happy. But that is going to bring us to the end of the round here. So we do have a couple inspiration points here to roll. So let's see if Janice Drake gets inspired. On a 1, he does. So he gets 1 inspiration point. 025 is not. And for Rain and Rouse, they also are not. And then we have our event table, which is going to be a 15, which I think I could have saved me a roll there. Nope, that's also an inspiration. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give an inspiration point to 025 here, just because I think he's going to need it. So that is going to end the turn. So we're going to get everything shuffled up and get ready for the next turn. And of course, starting us off, we have our initiative track. So we're going to have Rain and Rouse going first, followed by Esper Lucano, who's just going to sit in the Maglev. Group number 4, which, if I recall correctly, that was the 1 spindle drone that's already there. Followed by group number 3, which is the Urguls. Following the Negavolt cultists, we got group number 2, which is just some spindle drones. We got and we got Janice Drake. So I might be doing a covering fire on this one, just because I'm not a big fan of that order there. So our fate dice is okay, so we're going to have 4 fate dice, courtesy of Esper and Lucano. And then we just lose that last 1 there. And Rain and Rouse, who I realize now should have done an overwatch against that spindle drone. We have 1 cock to die there. I was still hoping for a 6 for a grappling hook, but we will take what you can get. Is looking at a 1, a 6, and a 3, so not too bad there. Hopefully he can wipe out some of the enemies we're looking at. Esper and Lucano, not that it really matters, has a couple dice here to play around with. I guess if those Negavolt cultists come back, he'll be able to defend himself. And Janice Drake, 1 cock die there, cock die there. Okay, there we go. So that's not too shabby there for Esper or for Janice Drake. So that's going to bring us in there. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a covering action. So Janice Drake and Esper Lucano, who, oh no, they can't, because they are not within line of sight of each other. So that's not good. So no covering fire there. So I think Janice Drake's actually going to try a... oh, do I want to try a gambit? You know what? No, I don't want to try a gambit. I want my dice right now. So that means Rain and Rouse will be going first, and we're going to start off with a stub pistol action. So just going to try and take out this spindle drone. There's one. There's nothing. Going to do another stub pistol action. There's one, and the spindle drones have 2 wounds, so that is going to kill him. So that means the other action will just do a move, 1, 2, and then they got a 3 and a 4 left. So we're just going to do a bunch of double teams. So let's see here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and oh, let's see. We'll use that 1 from the fate die. Oh no, we can't use that. We'll use a 4 from the fate dice, and we'll do 1 more double team action. So 1, 1, 2, and 1, 2. So Rain and Rouse are getting over there. Esper Lucano, once again, is looking kind of happy. So he's just going to use 1 die to just get right to there. Oh, there's no point because the Negavolt cultists won't come up there because they're going to come up by a portal if they do. So that does end that series of actions. Got a couple of reinforcement rules to make. So the spindle drones that in group 4 are not reinforcing. So moving on to group 3, which is the Urguls here. Oh, they are going to reinforce. So of course it's where the last thing is. So on a small result of a 2, what are we looking at here? So they're going to get 2 Urguls back. Lovely. Which on the reinforcements, they got to go back next nearest the group, I believe. So we're just going to grab them and find out the proper placement for them. So they do indeed just deploy there, but they are then going to get a move action. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's going to put them nice and close. And then this last Urgul is going to be doing a 4. And he is out of line of sight of everything. So he's hidden. So he's going to be doing a sneak action. But because he can't move anywhere that will put him... it'll actually move him into line of sight. So he is just going to hang out there and basically do nothing. Which is going to bring us to group number 1, which is the Negavolt cultists. Which, uh-oh, do they reinforce on the 4? No, thankfully they do not, because I did not want to deal with them. And then the last spindle drones are also not going to reinforce. So we do move into here, and he is just going to attempt to clear the way. So he's just going to do a series of attacks. So starting with his 1 action, nothing. Followed by his 3 action, that's 1 damage. Followed by his, we'll take the 1 from the fate die. That is a Grievous, so he'll kill 1 guy there, which is good. And he has one more fate and 1 more regular action. So he'll take the 5 from the fate dice, do 1 more damage, and then he'll take the his 6 action. So unfortunately he wasn't able to kill the other Urgul here. So that means Janice Drake will have to get in here and do it. So that means Drake will start by moving. He'll take his 2 and move up there, and he will do a. He's got nothing but flurry of blows, flurry of attacks here. So he's going to take the 4 for the flurry of attacks. And he's going to try and take out this Urgul. And with an Urgul with 3 wounds, so that he's got 1 left. Oh, and there we go. So that will kill him. And he's got 2 more of his own actions here. So what he's actually going to do, he's just going to make a dash for the discovery point here. So he'll go 1, 2, and 1 more. So that's his 2 regular actions there. He'll spend the 5, and he'll use his Auspex again to search this point. So we're going to be looking at Archaeotech, 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 Archaeotech. I was kind of hoping for a clue there, so we're just going to take the 2 Archaeotech and add it to my deck here. And then his very last action is going to be, he's just going to try and take out this Urgrul, just because I don't want him following around. He's going to use the 6, do a flurry from the Fate dice, do a flurry of attacks. 1 damage, 1 damage, 1 more, come on, 1 more. Oh, not enough to kill this last Urgrul, unfortunately. But that will bring us to the end of the round. And at the end of the round, we do have to see if anyone gets any inspiration points. So Janice Drake looking for a 3 or under. Nope. Rain and Rouse looking for a 2 or under. No. And looking for a 3 or under, also a no. So then we move to the event die, which is going to be a 15. So that's going to be an inspiration point. So we're going to give that to in this case. Because, you know, for him to get inspired, he needs to kill a spindle drone with his claw. And he has not had that opportunity yet. And that will bring us to the initiative phase. So we got the cards already shuffled up and ready to go. And we're going to get group number 2, which is spindle drones, followed by Janice Drake, followed by Rain and Rouse. And then we got Group number 4, which is spindle drones. Group number 3. And group number 1 following Esper Lucano. So it is very back heavy there, which is not too bad, which I kind of like. So Rain and Rouse, their abilities are their action dice. That 2 is cocked. That 4 is also cocked, unfortunately. So we got, okay, not bad. That's enough to get them into the Maglev, which is basically my goal at this point. Is looking at not enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that is enough to get him into the Maglev if he doesn't have to fight. So that's great. Janice Drake is looking at some good rolls right there, so he might be able to take out that Urgul and call it a day. And then finally, Esper Lucano, that 1 is cocked. So a bunch of 2s and 3s, but that doesn't matter because he's just hanging out anyway. So starting with group number 2, which is a spindle drones, we have no reinforcements there. So Janice Drake, who's up next, let's see, he can either move 8. I am going to try and, oh, I almost forgot. We got our fate dice as well. Oh, only getting 3 dice there. Okay, but you know what, we're going to use that, one of the 6s from those fate dice. And we're just going to do a flurry of attacks onto the ghoul there. No. No. No! Oh, jeez. Okay, we're going to use that 5 as well, and we're going to do some more flurry of attacks. Okay, there we go. That is enough to kill him. That's what I wanted. I didn't want him following me around there. But it did take 2 fate dice to do it, unfortunately. And he's just going to use his 4 remaining dice to move 8. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's almost able to get in there, but not quite. Rain and Rouse, they're going to use a bunch of double teams. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And then another 1, 1, 2. And then he'll use 1 more just to get in, get them on the same spot there. So that'll be 3 double team actions. Which will bring us to who has the 3 actions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So basically, we are just waiting on Janice Drake here. So let's see if groups 4 or 3 come back here. So group 4 gets no one. Group 3 also gets no one. Esper Lucano is happy where he is. Group 1, nothing. So we're going to see if we're at the end of the round. We're going to see if Janice Drake gets inspired anymore, which he does. So he's up to 2 inspiration points. Then we have our event die, which is a 2. And in the case of a 2, unfulfilled destiny. Do not make a destiny roll at the start of the next turn. That's not a problem because we're going to go into the next turn. No matter where anything appears, it's not going to be able to get any attacks on us. So we're just going to assume that our explorers get back onto the Maglev here. And of course, that'll bring us back to the exploration stage here. Thankfully, there is no wounds to repair, so we just have to see what our next step is. If it is a combat, we're going to cut to the next video at this point. But if it's challenges, we're going to just keep doing them as is at the moment. So we have a challenge. I know this one. This is the back-to-back challenge. So basically, I got to randomly select 2 of my heroes here, and then we got 3 groups here, and basically just got to survive. So this is not quite a combat one, so we are going to do this one. So we're going to get it set up and see what happens. So we're finding out who our 2 heroes are, and we are going with Rain and Rouse and Esper Lucano. Not who I would have chosen, but there we go. And we get to find out who they're going to be fighting. So group number 1, we're going to be looking at, some Trader Guard. Now, I believe the Trader Guard are small bases, so only dealing with 3 there. Group number 2, it's also some Trader Guard, so they're going to be dealing with 3 more Trader Guard. And then group number 3, it's going to be some Negaval cultists. So, this might be a tricky one for the people who happen to actually get stuck in this combat. So we're going to get set up and get the initiative going. Let's find out the initiative we're looking at. So we have Rain and Rouse going first, followed by Esper Lucano. All right, a chance to thin out the herd a little bit. Group number 1, group number 2, and group number 3. Okay, so that's not a bad setup for me there. I'm going to try and take out as many of those Negacult cultists as I can. My Destiny dice, and I do have Esper, which, oh, that's rough. That's a lot of 4s. That's unfortunate. I'm really wishing I'd used the support ability here to try and avoid this particular ambush now, or event anyway. So Rain and Rouse are looking at 2 3s, a 5, and a 1. And Esper Lucano, hoping for something good here, is looking at 3 5s and a 2. So I do have some options here. Going to see what I am able to do with them. So Rain and Rouse does go first. And I think what we're going to do with them is, let's see, the Negavult cultists, how many wounds do they have? They have 2 wounds. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to do a double team action. So they're going to take one of those 3s and do a double team action just to get right up next to them. They are then going to use that 5, I think. No, because, oh wait, yeah. So they're going to use that 5, and they're going to do a pair of stub pistol attacks against the Negavult cultists. So that's 1 wound, and nothing. So unfortunately not a dead cultist. So we're going to do that again. And we're looking at nothing and 1. So that is 1 dead Negavult cultist. So that is something there. And their last action is a 1, so it's just going to be a single stub pistol attack against the last cultist, which is nothing. So that brings us to Esper Lucano, and I think... You know, as much as I want to take out that Negavult cultist, I think he's got to try and thin the herd a little bit here. So he's going to do a series of third eye attacks, I think, against them. So starting with the first third eye, that is a grievous wound, so that's 1. Another third eye attack. Oh, is another grievous wound. Okay, that's what we're doing here with Esper. Another one. Oh my goodness, okay, so he's just going to town on them. He's going to take 3 from the Fate die just to move over to here, and he's going to use another 5 to do another third eye attack against this group of guardsmen. Oh my goodness, he is just having none of this. Okay, he just is decimating these guys. You know what, he's going to take that last Fate die, and he's just going to do it one more time, see if I can take out one more of these guardsmen. So it's only a wound. So we'll put it on the las gunner there. It's only a wound, but still that is something. As we move through the ranks, we no longer have to worry about group number 1 there. So it does go to group number 2. There's no reinforcements. So we just basically find out what these traitor guardsmen are looking to do. So starting with the las gunner here. Where is my D20? Starting with the las gunner. We're looking at a 19. So he's not within cover, but he is close. So we're looking at... Oh, that's just silly of him. He's just going to do a charge. So he's just going to run up there, and he's going to attack with a D8, which is going to be 1 point of damage. So we do have some defense here for Esper Lucano, and he'll block it. So then the Grenadier will do a 17, which is looks like it's also a charge. So he's just going to run up, and with him, he's looking at the D8. Nothing. Which brings us to the Negavult cultist that's remaining, who is going to be doing a 20, who is engaged. So we see a Fury, so take an onslaught action with rerolls. Oh, okay. So there are no saves made against this. So it's 2 attacks with the onslaught action. So the first one is nothing, but with a reroll. So that is a grievous wound. So let's see if Rain and Rouse can avoid some of that. They're going to bring it down to just a regular wound. So that's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. And the next attack is another grievous wound. And we're going to see if they... That one is going to be a grievous wound. So unfortunately, that's not one they're going to be able to shake. So Rain and Rouse are going into the next challenge a little bit weakened here. We do have to see if anyone picks up any inspiration points. So Rain and Rouse with looking for 2 or less. Nope. And Esper Lucano with his whopping 8 wounds here. That is a 6, so he is going to get an inspiration token, which, any little bit helps in these cases. And the initiative order going into the next turn, we are looking at Esper Lucano going first, followed by Rain and Rouse. Then we got group number 2, so the Guardsmen, and then the Negavult cultists. So let's just see what we can do here. So first things first, I guess, we got to find out our action dice. So Esper Lucano is, oh, he's just looking at using his Force Cane this time. It looks like he doesn't have anything fun. Rain and Rouse, who are down to 2 die, are looking at, okay, at least they're looking at some good dice, a 4 and a 6. They might actually try and get rid of one of those wounds here. Can't be the Grievous, but one of them at least. And then our Fate die. Oh, Fate can be cruel sometimes. So only 3 actions here, which probably are going to be used to try and take out that Negavolt cultist. So starting with Esper Lucano, he's got 1, 2s, and a 3. So starting with the 1, he's going to whack one of these guardsmen for a grievous wound and take him out. And he's going to spend that 2 and do it again. Oh, okay. Apparently that's how Esper Lucano rolls. He just kind of rolls grievous wounds and does damage. So he's going to take that other 2, and he's just going to walk up into this hex here, and he's going to spend his last action die to whack the Negavolt cultist. Oh, that's the wrong die here. He's going to whack the Negavolt cultist. Oh, he has done nothing but grievous wounds. Now, that does actually end the encounter, though, unfortunately, so I'm not going to get a chance to heal just yet. I'm going to have to wait till the event phase. But anyway, because they won, they both get a discovery card. So Espern is going to get some Archaeotech at 2. And Rain and Rouse are pulling a clue. And that's going to bring us back to the Maglev. Now we do quickly have our recovery steps. So Rain and Rouse is going to try and recover that non-grievous wound. Successfully, thankfully. You know, it's still a grievous wound, so they're still just operating off 3 dice, unfortunately. And like before, if this is a combat one, we're just going to move that to the next video. If it is a challenge, we're going to keep going and just see what happens. So we are looking at a combat, looks like a big one actually. So that is going to be what's coming up. So for everyone following along, thank you so much for watching. Please leave your comments below. Oh, I always like to hear what you guys think about this, what I did wrong, what you like, what you didn't like. And of course, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you in the next combat encounter from the road to Precipice to the Hidden Vault in this Warhammer Quest Blackstone Fortress campaign. Happy wargaming.